right, welcome back. We're here in bracket play, the Edge Arena in Littleton, Colorado. 6 teams in the A bracket, 6 teams in the B bracket. This is a matchup of the number 2 seeds in each bracket. Also a number 2 seed. They'll be in the white sweaters. Kansas City in the all-black sweaters. Kansas City has played their way into the top 4 in their bracket, which means they are guaranteed some extra games playing on Sunday. Anybody outside the top 4 playing tonight on Saturday, and that would be the end of their tournament. Kansas City will play tomorrow, guaranteed. They win tonight. Potential to have 2 games tomorrow. Potentially 3 games left, counting this one. This one, 2 tomorrow. Championship being at noon or 12:15, I believe. At least an extra game tomorrow. Kansas City goes with Smith, take the face-off. Logan Weisner and Landon Allender on the wings. Asher Barron and Tevis McClin are your defensemen. And we're underway here in the first period. Kansas City controls the face-off in the neutral zone, trying to chip it ahead up the blue line. Corralled by McClin, taps it ahead to Smith. Smith over to Weisner. Weisner slides it in towards the goalie, and he covers it up. Face off in the Utah zone. Controlled by Kansas City. Weisner back there, chips it up to Smith. Smith back to the point. McClin plays it back down low for Smith or Allender. Allender chases it behind the net, but just out of his reach. Utah chases it down. Good poke check there. Smith takes control behind the net. Puck sneaks away. Back over to Weisner. Weisner trying to chip it down low to Smith, but it's picked off by Utah, and they'll clear the zone. Junior Mustangs across center ice. Quick line change. Hargadine out. Smith on the ice as well for the forward line. Trickles into the Kansas City crease. Barron trying to clear it, got chipped away momentarily by Colorado, but eventually corralled by Utah, and they'll rush back the other direction. Utah across the blue line. Plenty of Kansas City players back. Utah caught the line change. They'll dump it in, but Landon Weisner trying to play it out, gets poked back in. Phillips on the ice. He backhands it up the sideboards looking for JC. Kept in by Colorado. Tie up down in the corner there with Phillips. Utah comes away with it, trying a centering pass, goes all the way back to the point. Left D to right D, fanned on it. Poke check. Howard there trying to play it out. Tapped ahead by JC looking for Hargadine, but not enough heat on the pass. Hargadine was skating backwards, waiting for the pass, just didn't come through. But Howard picks up the loose puck at center ice. We're going to get a stoppage in play here. Hargadine will go off. They call Hargadine for a cross check, or maybe a trip. I saw a couple different motions there from the referee, but nevertheless, Hargadine goes off. 12:14 remaining in the first period. Kansas City finds itself on the penalty kill. 5 skaters on the ice. Somebody needs to leave for Kansas City. Still 5-on-5 here. Oh, offsetting penalties. I did not see the Utah player in the box. So offsetting penalties, 5-on-5 hockey still. Utah dumps it in. Karam's behind the net. By the way, Kansas City going with Ethan Eager, alternating goalies throughout the tournament. Eager in net for Kansas City Hockey Club on this bracket play game number 1. Icing call brings that face-off back down in Utah zone. Brown to take the face-off. Logan Weisner and Dash Myers on the wings. Utah controls. They slide it around, try to get it out, but Barron keeps it in at the point. Little tip drill there looking for Brown. Chips into the corner. Controlled by Myers. He plays it back to Landon Weisner. Weisner dumps it down deep. Circles behind the net. Brown chasing after it behind the net. Brown taps it back, looking for Logan Weisner. Logan Weisner plays it back in the corner to himself. Circles around behind net, looking for a centering pass. Buys some time, hits the brakes. Plays it back, looking for Myers, but all the way back to the point. Barron keeps it back. He keeps it in the zone, plays it back down low. Dangerous play there for Utah as it trickled around, and Brown tried to tuck it behind the goalie. Just slid into his pads, and he covered it up for the face-off here. 11:15 remaining in the first.
I'm super impressed. Like, holy shit.
He's trying to manage the beers and the coffee.
You're right. Come on, yeah.
Utah tried to clear it out. Powell back on the point, trying to keep it in. It's kept in momentarily by Kansas City, but Utah chips it down to the far end. They get an icing call here. 11:02 remaining in the first period. That brings the face-off back down to Utah's zone.
What service are you using?
It's going to got a scoreboard on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here's Kansas City trying to dump it back in. Comes up and over a couple players. Hit the boards, but drops back down to the neutral zone. Utah plays it over to the left winger. Just across the blue line. Shot goes behind the Kansas City net. Carries him behind the corner. Utah plays it around one defender for Kansas City, trying to get a centering pass. Fanned on a second attempt, poked away. JC will take it across the blue line. Kansas City clears his own. JC dumps it down. Corralled though by Utah. Play it over to the left winger. Dumps it into Kansas City zone. Turned right around by Powell though. Kicked it back, but Utah keeps it in. They play it over to the right winger. Shot coming from the faceoff dot. Chipped. Goes high over the crossbar and back behind the net. Dungy tied up back there with Myers and Powell trying to dig it out. Powell sends it up the sideboards. Kept in by Colorado momentarily. Utah trying to dig it out of there. A couple bodies flying everywhere. It comes back to the left point. They'll play it D to D to the right side. Shot coming from the right side, but poke checked away at the last second. McLean tips it ahead, looking for Smith. Gunnar Smith was breaking. Just pass went off of the skate. Shot right on target, and Eager covers it up. Stoppage in play here with 9:43 remaining.
Super cool. Crazy.
Utah controls the faceoff. They play it back to the left D, but out of the reach. Streaking is Allender. Gets back to it, just skated over it. Got to stick a little bit high over the puck. A poke check by Utah, kicks it the other direction. Kansas City chips it back in, going down low to the red line. Utah corral the puck behind their own net. Bakta chasing as well as Allender. McLean and Barron on D, trying to keep the play alive, but it's chipped out by Utah. Corral at center ice, across the neutral zone, into the blue line. Poke check by Barron interrupts that centering pass. Chipped out by Kansas City, and Utah will regroup at center line. Junior Mustangs regroup. Brady Brown lost his stick there. A poke check by Utah, lost his stick. Good back check there by Myers, though. Back check, pressure by Myers, interrupting that play. They'll end up sending it around the net. Back to Brown. Brown trying to chip it ahead and get it out of the zone. Ends up on the stick of Barron. Barron rushes through center ice. Barron across the red line, across the blue line. And Weiser in a battle, but it's chipped out by Utah. Eventually cleared the zone, but Myers will corral the puck, sends it over, trying to tap it over to Brown. Myers chips it over the blue line. They'll go for a line change for Kansas City. Some fresh legs. Utah regroups in their own zone. Pass in the neutral zone. Weisner with a good poke check. Howard on the ice as well now. Landon Weisner pulls it back to himself, tries to clear the zone, but Utah dumps it back in on a backhand pass. Phillips will pick that up behind his own net. He plays it around to Dungy. Dungy's on the left side, streaking to the neutral zone. Pass picked off though, the neutral zone by Utah. Good poke check there to clear the zone by Kansas City. Utah resets at the red line. Utah over the blue line into the Kansas City zone. Backhand pass over to the right winger. Poke check interrupts the play. Kansas City trying to bust it out of the zone there. Backhand pass by JC clears the zone back to the neutral zone. For Utah, they regroup. penalty call on that. JC picks up the loose puck. He plays it over to Howard. Howard corrals the puck, trying to get a shot behind the net. JC trying to pick the loose puck up, but it's picked up by Utah, and they'll clear the zone. Utah streaking across the neutral zone, across the blue line. They get through. Eager goes into the net as the Utah player crashed into him, but we get a stoppage in play as the net comes off the pegs. Puck went wide after the shot into the far corner. We get a stoppage in play. Yeah, sports. Yeah, no S, just sport. Yellow. Yeah, it's fantastic. Unbelievable. Only $40. It's crazy. Yeah, or you can go through Facebook. Either one. Or you can record it to your phone and upload it later. Shot, Eager corrals that. We'll get another face-off. 6:48 remaining. Sometimes you get the ring.
When you got a guy that shows up and he's got 3 topics on the table.
Utah controls the puck on the corner after the face-off, trying to dig it out and make a pass, but Kansas City busts it up, plays it back through the slot, picked off. Kansas City breaks it out. Hill trying to send it up the side, but gets up to Bakta. Bakta's got Hargadine streaking with Smith over the blue line. Dump pass goes behind the net. Utah tries to clear. They get it up to the right winger. They'll break it out and clear the zone. McClin back. Great defensive play by McClin as he chips that over with a little poke check to the sideboards. McClin looking for a cross-ice pass to Hargadine. He connects with Hargadine at the red line. Hargadine buying time. Evades a couple defenders looking for a shot. Bangs off the shin guards of the Utah player. Utah picks up the loose puck. Tries to clear the zone, but picked off by Logan Weisner. Logan Weisner in across the face-off dot. Plays it over to Hargadine. Looking for a shot. Doesn't get a good stick on it as it's chipped in behind the net. Hargadine had a look at it, but got poke checked at the last second, trying to go high over the goalie's leg pad. Utah the other direction. 2-on-2 break. Barron and McClin back. Utah trying to set something up, but a poke check by Barron. Barron's going to break it out. Barron's got Hargadine with him, but he goes back to the bench. Barron all by himself, pulls up, face-off dot, shot. Just left, the goal goes off the glass. Allender in pursuit, trying to keep the play alive, but it's chipped out. Cleared all the way to the other end. Phillips and Barron on the ice for Kansas City on the D-line. Barron will regroup, plays it up the sideboards, looking for a breakout to Logan Weisner. Weisner picks it up. He'll skate it up the blue line, loses the handle momentarily, but dumps it back in. Just out of the reach, Myers. Utah regroups, and they'll send a centering pass to the neutral zone. Good back check by Howard. He corrals that puck. He'll send it down the other end of the ice. That'll be an icing call, but a great poke check by Myers there. The stoppage in play with 4:54 remaining in this first period.
Down to 10 guys, so like I said, at home is all. When I come vacation, I don't bring this. This is awesome.
Well, you guys know me.
That's right, exactly. I'm here just for the drink.
That's all good. That's all. You at least have that. You start with that.
Let's go.
Kansas City controls the face-off. Landon Weisner circles behind his own net. Plays it backhand up, looking for Howard. Howard chips it ahead for Hargadine. Hargadine's got some room. A little interference call. We'll get a penalty here. They'll play on. Shot by JC. We get an interference call. It looks like Kansas City will go on the power play here as Hargadine was breaking through the traffic. Utah player cut in front of him, not attempting to play the puck, just blocked Hargadine. He'll go off the ice as soon as the refs figure out which player it is. Wait a minute, here looks like Howard's going to get the call. Howard, not sure the call on that. Looks like Howard gets the call here. Maybe they're calling a hook or something, but it sure looked like a little interference on the Utah player. So Kansas City goes on the penalty kill. Looked like they had a streaking player there, interfered with by the Utah player, but nevertheless, it's called on Kansas City. They go on the penalty kill here. Face off controlled by Utah. They play it back to the left D, who dumps it in behind the net. Picked up by Utah forward. They'll circle around trying to set something up. Poke check. Sends the puck into the near boards. Bakta pursuing. Picked up by Landon Weisner. He'll skate it out. He's got some room to roam. Landon Weisner takes it across the blue line. He dumps it off the boards. Sends it back into the Utah zone. Utah plays it across the blue line, a little far out of the reach of their forward. Poke check back by Weisner. Trickles back to the right D, looking for a shot. They pull up. Shot saved by Eager, kicks into the right corner. Good shot there by the right D from Utah. They'll flip it back to the right D again. Another shot coming from the right D. No, he plays it down low to the left side. And they'll kick it around. Logan Weisner there in support, trying to dig it out with the Utah player. He picks it up, and Logan Weisner tries to ice it, but it's caught by the Utah player, but nevertheless out of the zone. Does a good job to clear it out on the penalty kill. 30 seconds remaining on the penalty to Howard. Pass broken up by Kansas City. Utah player loses an edge. Chip it back down low, but it's picked up by Landon Weisner. Weisner skates it out of his own zone. Plays it off the boards. Up through the neutral zone, center ice. Utah will regroup. D to D to the right D. They play it off the boards. They enter the zone over the blue line on the right side. Good back check by Myers. Then out of the zone, looking for Allender, but nevertheless he clears the zone. He'll play it up to Allender. Back over the blue line. Howard's out of the box. Penalty is over. Kansas City has killed the penalty. Long outlet pass through the neutral zone. Utah jumps over the blue line. Shot saved by Eager. Kicked aside. Hill turns that out of the crease. Kicks it out of the crease, I should say. Outlet pass looking for Brown. Can't quite get through the skates. A little bit of traffic right there. Utah keeps it alive. Howard in the battle with Landon Weisner trying to keep that play out of the zone, and eventually Landon Weisner kicks it back down. We got an icing call coming, though, as it crosses the red line. 2:20 remaining in this first period. That'll bring the face-off back down in the Kansas City zone. Argentine take the face-off for Kansas City. No clear possession. Eventually trickles back to the left D, who takes a shot for Utah. Wide off target. Puck trickles back to the right D. Eventually picked up by McClin. McClin clears it out. Comes all the way back to the Utah right D. Clearing pass by JC. Picked off in the neutral zone. Clearing pass through JC, I should say, but he picks it off. Argentine in the corner in a battle. Tries to chip it ahead back to JC in the corner. Utah player loses an edge. Nope, we'll get a tripping call here. Looks like JC might have been behind him and tripped him up. Kansas City goes back on the penalty kill as JC heads to the box. That'll bring the face-off back down in the Kansas City zone with just under 2 minutes remaining in this scoreless first period. Kansas City controls the face-off. Bakta lifts it through the neutral zone, off the boards. No icing as it was tipped by Utah. Good clear by Bakta. Buying some time here on the penalty kill. Logan Weisner behind the net. Trying to get a centering pass maybe to Bakta, but eventually picked up by Utah, and they clear the zone. McClin and Barron back for Kansas City. Trying to get a pass through the slot. Goes all the way to the far corner. Nothing doing on that attempt. McClin tries to clear it out up the blue line, but kept in by Utah. Good poke check there by McClin, interrupts that rush. Loose puck cleared out by Bakta again. Another great play by Bakta. That slides all the way down. That'll be on target. No icing call as it was right on net. Utah will regroup again. Pass picked up by Allender. Almost jumped that through and brought that back in the offensive zone. And again, it's picked up by Allender, and he'll chip it back in above the red line, so no icing call. Smith and Allender chasing after that. Utah circles behind their own net with a quick rush all the way the other direction. Phillips back on D with Barron. Allender back checking. Poke check. Phillips picks up the puck, pulls it back. Poked away by Utah into the far corner. Utah trying to get something going. They send it out back to the right D, but it's picked off by Allender. Gloved down by the Utah player, but he was standing outside the zone. It gloved it back down and threw it on the blue line. Made it look like it might have been in the zone, but it was actually outside the blue line when he gloved it. So that's an offsides call for Utah. 9 seconds remaining on the penalty to JC. Loose puck picked up by Landon Weisner. Shot chipped. Utah player loses his stick. Landon Weisner picks up the loose puck again, drops it back down low. Nobody down there for Kansas City, though. Hargadine down there, but couldn't quite get a stick on it. 8 seconds remaining. Utah player finally picks up a stick, and they'll ice it down the other direction. That'll be just enough to kill the end of the period. Phillips ties up his man down there as time expires. Icing call. Would have stopped the play anyway, but we head into that second period, 0-0, Kansas City and Utah, no score after a good back and forth battle in that first period.
You did too? I only did 10. Right.
Parker Coleman used to play for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the St. Louis.
Yeah. We're friends with Mike. I just didn't know if this was his old team.
Yeah.
Parker in 96 on the Grizz, and number 4. They're all good friends.
Yeah, her husband was actually texting Justin asking about you guys in the Washington.
Ready to go here in period number 2. Teams flip the ice. Those are ready. Referees ready. And we're underway in period number 2. Face-off kind of bounced around for a minute. Eventually, Utah controlled it back to the D, but it came into the neutral zone, and McLean dumps it in. Utah sends it right back out. We're back and forth here in the neutral zone, but eventually Utah jumps over the blue line. Barron ties up his man before he could get a shot. Loose puck, Allender plays it around one defender, or one forward, I should say. Streaking out long, cross-ice pass, looking for Logan Weisner, plays it off the boards. Weisner picks it up. Right in front, goes off a skate of a Utah player. Good attempt there by Logan Weisner, just trying to get something on net. Got some action behind the play here. Looks like Allender and number 18 for Utah going off, offsetting penalties. Not sure if I had that in the frame. I was looking to the right there as the play continued, but offsetting penalties. Utah controls the faceoff, plays it over the right D. They'll dump it in. Phillips pursuing his man behind the corner. They'll circle around behind the net. Poke check there by Landon Weisner, breaks up the play. They'll chip it around, trying to bring it behind the net. Loses an edge. Utah trying to get a centering pass set up. Weisner and Phillips behind there. They'll play it back all the way to the left D. Shot coming from the left D. Wide off target. Goes behind the net. Phillips chases it out. Plays it up to the blue line. It's chipped ahead. Picked up by JC. JC taps it over to Hargadine. Got a 2-on-1 here for the moment. Hargadine trying to get a shot. tipped by the Utah defender. Flips up into the glove of the Utah junior Mustang goalie, and he'll glove it down for a face-off just outside the left side of the goal. Kept in the point by Powell. Powell sends it over to Brown. Brown trying to get something going over to Logan Weisner, but it's poke checked away by Utah. Utah rushing up the left or the right side now through the neutral zone. Shot, leg pad saved by Eager. Kicks it off to the side. Loose puck picked up by Powell, and he'll chip it back down. No icing. It was tipped, and it slows down anyway in the Utah zone. Good poke check by Logan Weisner. He sends it back across ice, trying to find Brown, but just behind him as it caroms all the way over to the far side of the ice. Puck picked up by Baktos, jumping over the blue line, trying to get something going, but poked away by Utah, and they'll come the other direction. 3-on-2 break. Hill and Powell back. Weisner back checking. Shot coming. Wide, goes behind the net, caroms off the boards, and all the way out of the zone. Utah run it down all the way back in their own zone. Cross ice pass, picked off by Smith. Good poke check by Smith, trying to tap it ahead to Brown. Smith and Brown going over the blue line. Smith got tripped up going over the blue line. They touch it up, and that'll be a penalty there on Utah. Kansas City will go on the power play here with 11:32 remaining. Face-off will come down to the Utah zone. Face-off controlled by Kansas City. Comes back to the right D. Landon Weisner trying to play it down low. He gets tied up on the boards. He'll kick it down low. Looking for Bakta. Bakta and Smith in the corner trying to keep the play alive. Loose puck trickles into the slot. Picked up by Smith. He plays it back to Barron. Shot from Barron right on target. Covered up by the Utah goalie. Sorry, I had that a little bit zoomed in there. Shot from Barron went right on target. Utah goalie covered it up. 1:09 remaining in the power play. Smith again will take the face-off. Bakta and Allender on the wing. They'll play it back to the right D. Shot coming from Landon Weisner. Loses the handle for a moment, though. He'll just decide to dump it back down and circle behind the net. Looking for Bakta. Bakta trying to play it back to Barron. Barron chips it back down low. Puck goes behind the net. Picked up by Smith. Trying to tap it back to Allender. It's cleared out by Utah. Barron's on the point trying to keep it in, but it's good play by Barron to keep it in. He gets over to Bakta. Bakta loses the handle trying to play it over to Smith, but they keep it down low nevertheless. Play is alive. They play it back. Smith plays it back to Landon Weisner, trying to chip it back to the point. Controlled by Utah, though, and they clear the zone. Kansas City resets. They'll play it back through the neutral zone. Dumps back down behind the Utah net. Howard on the ice. Picks up the pass. Fans on the shot. Picked up the rebound momentarily. Hargadine there. He'll pick up the loose puck. Trying to go behind the net and get some space through the traffic. Hargadine picks it up. Looking for a pass. He'll play it back to the point for Barron. Wrist shot coming from Barron. Tip goes wide right. JC there in the back door looking for a tip in. Howard plays it back out to the point. Right back to Barron. Another shot by Barron. Hits a shin guard on the Utah player. Utah clears it out with a little rush here. Back to full strength. 5-on-5. Shot off the post. Utah player hit the right post and caromed out. Kansas City rushes the other direction. Landon Weisner through the neutral zone. Utah clears it back out. Comes back to Barron. Back checking Utah player. Scoops up the puck. He'll circle around to the neutral zone. All the way through the slot. Slow shot trickles behind the net. Utah picks up the puck. Trying to set something up. Loose puck picked up by Barron. He tries to clear it out. Doesn't get out. Kept in on the right D by Utah. They dump it behind the net. JC will pick up the shot. Trying to clear it out. No icing. It was tipped as it goes all the way down to the Utah zone. Puck almost comes to a stop at the Utah red line. They'll play it back out of their zone. Backhand through the neutral zone. Stopped by McClin. He kicks it back. Myers on the ice. Poke check to the neutral zone, but 2-on-2 for Utah as they enter the blue line. Poke check by Powell. Slap shot coming wide right by Utah. Loose puck came back almost the blue line. The left D fired a slap shot for Utah. Myers with the forecheck, trying to keep the play above the blue line. Eventually picked up by McClin. He plays it back to Powell. Long cross ice pass Powell, looking for Weisner. just over his stick. It'll be an icing call. Actually, maybe an offsides call. My apologies there. No, they are going to call an icing call, it looks like. The referee's discussing this. See them pointing down to the other end of the ice. Let's see what they decide. Offsides call. Play came from center ice, so that's where the face-off will be. Face-off controlled by Utah. They dump it in looking for a D-man, but it's controlled by Kansas City. Powell at the point trying to keep it in. It's eventually chipped out by Utah. Dungy back checking. Good poke check there by Hill as he disrupts that pass attempt looking for the slot. Utah tries to play it back to the right D, but just out of the zone across the blue line. Utah with a quick shot right over the glove of Eager. Utah goes up 1-0. 7:48 remaining in this second period. Utah with a strike. 1 goal lead here in the second period. Kansas City with Hargadine take the face-off. JC and Howard on the wings. Landon Weisner and Phillips on D. Utah controls the face-off. They chip it ahead, picked off by Landon Weisner. He plays it back up to JC. JC trying to chip it ahead, looking for Hargadine. Picked off by Utah. They chip it back into Kansas City zone. Phillips picks it up. Pass over to Howard. Howard back over to the right side. He plays it over to Landon Weisner. Across the blue line. Landon Weisner pinches down low, brings it back to JC on the point. JC plays it over to Phillips on the point. Phillips will play it back down low. Sends it back around. We got a delayed penalty coming on Utah as they touch it up. Kansas City will go on the power play here. Howard, Hargadine, and JC are your forwards. Weisner and Barron on your defensive line for the power play here. 7:16 remaining. Kansas City has a minute and a half man advantage. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Number 8 gets the penalty for Utah. Face off just to the left of the Utah goal. Hargadine to take the drop. A little discussion here with the referee and the Kansas City bench. Not sure what they're talking about. Kansas City is on the power play. Apparently some discussion. Whatever it was about, it's settled and we're underway. Kansas City controls the face-off. They play it back to the right D. Landon Weisner dumps it back down. Hargadine controls the puck behind the net. Utah player loses his stick. Howard will come away with it. Howard looking for a wraparound right in front, and he scores! Crosby Howard with the wraparound ties the goal. Power play goal for Kansas City, 1-1. 7:02 remaining in the second period, and Kansas City immediately capitalizes on the power play. Face-off controlled by Kansas City. Weisner dumps it down below. Hargadine behind the net. Utah player lost his stick. Plays it back to Howard, and Howard with the wraparound. Kansas City ties it 1-1 halfway through this second period. 5-on-5 hockey, back to full strength here. Allender picks up the face-off. Dumps it into the Utah zone behind the net. Smith chasing after it. Bachta in pursuit as well. Loose puck picked up by Utah. They run through the neutral zone, but a good play by Landon Weisner. Poke checks it, and they get an offsides call here as Utah had a player across the blue line that had fell down. Puck came across the blue line and back in, so offsides call. No cleared possession here as the scrum of the face-off. Puck eventually squirts out, dumped into the Kansas City zone, but Barron is there. Barron chips it off the glass, up and out of the zone. Bakta pursuing that across the red line. Bakta picks up the puck, loose puck, centering pass all the way over to Smith. Smith trying to put a shot on net, right on target, covered up by the Utah goalie. Good pressure there by Bakta as he kept the play alive on the near boards here and eventually pulled the puck out, slid it across the ice over to Smith, who had a shot. Swallowed up by the Utah goalie, no rebound. We'll get a face-off here with Hargadine, Howard and JC on forward, McClin and Barron back on D. Kansas City controls the face-off back to Barron. Barron sends a shot right down low. Hargadine with the loose puck, tries to play it up and over the goalie. Loose puck in front, backhand attempt. Kicked aside, JC had a shot at it. Backhand attempt, comes right back to Howard. Howard in the face-off dot. Gets tripped up, loses the puck, and Utah rushes out the other direction. Utah across the red line. Now into the Kansas City zone. Offsides call. Good pressure there by Kansas City and another good attempt. Loose puck chipped out, or chipped in by Utah, I should say. McClin will run that down in his own crease. Puck bounces around in the far corner. Utah eventually corrals it, trying to set something up. JC bangs it out the blue line, but it's kept in by Utah. McClin trying to chip it out. Hargadine there as well. Hargadine and Howard breaking out. Hargadine across the blue line, trying to play through the legs of a defender, but it's poke checked into the corner. Hargadine ties up his man in the corner. Loose puck bounces back, comes back to McClin. McClin looking for a shot from the face-off circle. Loose puck in front. Hargadine trying to play it around from his knees. Lost an edge and fell down. Tried a little wrap around with the back of the stick. Kept in by Howard. Howard tries to play it up to Hargadine. Hargadine with the puck, trying to slide it over to JC. Pass back to Howard, but it trims all the way back to Barron. Barron with a shot. Wrist shot. Bouncer right in front. Kicked back out by Utah. Another attempt by Kansas City to dump it back in, but it's blocked by the Utah forwards. Barron crosses the blue line, trying to bring it back in to get an offsides call. A couple good attempts there by Kansas City. Howard and Hargadine right in the slot. Has some good looks there. Bounces didn't go our way, and it kicked back out. Face-off controlled by Utah. They'll dump it in the neutral zone across the red line. Hill and Powell back on D. Poke check there by Hill and Powell. Poke Kermit around the corner. Up to Brown. Brown streaking out with Smith. Smith and Weisner across the blue line. We'll get a penalty here. It's a very clear trip by Utah. Smith was streaking up the right side. Utah player tangled up the stick in his skates, even lost his stick. Smith goes down. Utah goes to the box. Kansas City goes on the penalty, on the power play. 4:38 remaining in this second period. Kansas City capitalized immediately on the last power play. Let's see what they can do with this one. Face-off controlled by Utah into the corner. They try to clear it up and out. It's chipped out of the zone. Weisner and Barron back checking. Utah had a little look there, but poke check by Weisner disrupts that play. Outlet pass looking for Smith, but just over his reach. A little bit of back and forth, and now Barron's across the blue line. Quick shot off the left leg pad of the goalie. Utah trying to clear it out. They get it across the blue line. It does clear the zone. Poke checks there by Allender, Smith, Barron as well. Barron chips it back. Barron plays it around back to himself, trying to get around one defender, but a good poke check by Utah. Disrupts that play. Barron back to the bench. Line change for Kansas City. Poke check by Landon Weisner. And they dump it in. The Utah just dumps it in. But offside. 37 seconds remaining on the power play for Kansas City. Pass was around the center ice area, so the face-off comes back to the center dot. Face-off controlled by Hargadine momentarily, but poke checked away. JC taps it back to Hargadine. They're across the blue line. Hargadine and Howard 2-on-1 for the moment. Hargadine trying to get a shot. Plays it right up in the side of the net. Bounces off the side of the net. A real wraparound attempt, and they score! They wave it off. They wave it off. It looks like Kansas City had it in, but they waved the goal off. Not sure. It wasn't covered up. Not sure what the call was and why it was waved off. Pegs came off. There it is. Just saw the net get adjusted. The net moved off by about 4 or 5 inches. Not much. Puck was tucked in, but as the net came off the pegs, they blew it dead. Certainly a close call for Utah. Kansas City coach not happy with that one, but he gets the explanation from the referees. They'll face it off again just outside the Utah goal. Kansas City controls the face-off. They play back to the right D. Quick shot by Powell. Intercepted, though, by Utah. Never got on target, and they cleared the zone. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. Utah rushing around, trying to get a little shot. Circle behind the Kansas City net. Poke check by JC. Powell in support as well. Utah trying to get something going there, but it trickles out, and Howard will pick up the puck. Howard plays it out. Cross-ice pass, looking for Hargadine. Hargadine trying to play it through some traffic over to Howard. He does get it across the blue line. JC pursuing just off his stick, trying to play it back to JC. Utah rushes the other direction. Just under 3 minutes remaining. Offsides as Utah was just over the blue line. Offsides call brings that face-off just out of the zone. 2:46 remaining in the second period. Kansas City jumps to the line, controls the face-off momentarily, but poked out by Utah. Logan Weiser with pressure, puck in the Utah zone. Several Kansas City players in support trying to dig it out there. Dungy there as well. The stoppage in play. I'm not sure if the puck got tied up or what the call was. Didn't catch the call there, but the face-off comes outside the Utah zone. Logan Weiser heading off. Not sure if the stoppage in play was because his glove did look like it came off, so maybe with the equipment malfunction or lack of equipment, the glove coming off, they stopped the play because of that. They'll send him off. Kansas City controls the face-off. Utah jumps through, though, and picks up the puck. Gets through some traffic, trying to get a shot in the slot, and they scored. Quick strike by Utah. Jumped through the traffic in the face-off, and nobody could really settle that puck. Loose puck bounced around in the slot. Utah took a crack at it. Looks like it beat Eager low on the glove side. Just really didn't have a clean possession on either side there, but it bounced around in the slot. They banged it behind Eager to put Utah up 2-1. 2:23 remaining in this second period. Smith will take the face-off. Kansas City controls. Play it over to Barron, the lefty. Barron jumps over the blue line. Barron, quick snapshot just over the crossbar. Targeting that top left corner, just missed. It was open. The goalie did not have it covered, but it just missed over the crossbar. Poke check right in front. Kansas City trying to keep something going here. Loose puck picked up. Allender dumps it back down low. Allender and Buck are trying to keep the play alive. Utah trying to play it out. They get it through the neutral zone. Chips into the Kansas City zone across the blue line. Landon Weiser with a poke check, trying to disrupt the play. Utah brings it behind the Kansas City net. Wraparound attempt right in front. Cleared by Eager and Brown. I think it was Brown. Not Brown, actually. It looks like Allender cleared that out. The penalty here on Barron. Barron goes off with 1:39 remaining. Kansas City goes on the penalty kill. Landon Weisner controls the face-off, dumps it through the neutral zone. Getting a little time here. Just about 9 seconds of difference between the second period clock and the penalty clock. Kansas City trying to kill off the second period. Kill some time. Get Barron back out of the box. They clear the zone. Back up to the red line. Utah reset at center ice. Bach to pursuing. Utah loses the handle. Eventually regains control and dumps it in the zone. Hill is there. Hill disrupts the pass over to Bachta. Bachta sends it up to center ice, but Utah regains control. They'll rush back in over the blue line on the right side. Thought about a shot, but a good poke check there by Weisner forces his man into the corner. The puck trickles back out to center ice. Utah resets. Right in front, and they score. Utah brings it all the way around the face-off dot on the left side, brings it around Eager, and again beats Eager on the right side, glove side. Power play goal for Utah. 37 seconds left in the period. Roughly 28, 29 seconds left in that penalty, but that negates a penalty. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Flynn takes the face-off win and chips it back into the Utah zone. Utah puts it right back out to the neutral zone. Rushes to the right side. Over the blue line, down to the face-off dot. Shot coming, saved by Eager, kicked aside. JC picks up the loose puck after the save by Eager. Skates it out of the zone through the neutral zone. Plays it ahead to Howard. Howard across the blue line, trying to get a shot. Poke checked. Comes behind the net. 9 seconds remaining in the period. They try to clear it out, comes up to the blue line. They'll send it all the way through the neutral zone. Powell back checking, picks up the loose puck behind his own net, and that'll do it for the second period. Head into this third period. Kansas City down 2 goals. We'll go with the starting line of JC and Allender on wing. Smith will take the drop. McLennan Barron on D. Plenty of chances for both sides. Let's see if Kansas City can strike, close the gap, trying to get this game tied up or take the lead in the third. Utah trying to clear the zone all the way up to the left side, just out of the zone. McLean will reset. He'll circle around the red line. Trying to dump it back in. Puck bounces around, controlled by Utah. Kicks off a skate of a Kansas City defender and all the way down. Shot off target, picked up by Barron, who chips it up and out. Trying to find Allender, but it comes all the way back to center ice. Utah picks up the puck, trying to cross in the blue line, but poked out by Barron. A delayed penalty here. Smith will go off. Didn't see the call here. Let's see if the referee indicates what the call was. Not sure, didn't catch that, but Smith nevertheless goes off with 13. .14 remaining in the first. Hargadine and Bogdan forward. Phillips and Weisner are your D-men. Shot goes wide left for Utah. Cameron's back to the left D. Left D dumps it back down low. Weisner picks it up. He'll cycle it over to Phillips in the corner. Phillips plays it up the sideboards looking for Hargadine. Can't quite get it out. Utah regains control. Shot coming from the face-off dot. Loose puck right in front. And they score. Utah with a backhand pass, or backhand shot, I should say. Looked like it had cleared the crease. Utah player picked it up with a backhand just inside the far post. That makes it 4-1 Utah. That negates a penalty to Smith. Kansas City back on full strength. Hargadine takes the face-off with JC and Howard on the wing. Face-off controlled by Utah. They jump right through the defense. Phillips and Weisner back on D. Forces him into the corner. Utah trying to get a centering pass. Goes all the way through the crease. Back to the left D. Shot blocked there by JC. Hargadine and JC trying to chip it out. Landon Weisner chips it ahead to JC. JC gets through some traffic. JC across the red line. They'll dump it back in behind the net. Howard and Hargadine chasing after it. Hargadine right in front. Got poke checked away. Had a little shot there. Poke checked away at the last second. Howard regains control at center ice. He'll circle around some traffic. Hargadine and Howard over the blue line. Howard plays it back to himself around the face-off dot, looking for a centering pass. Kicked off of the skater. A poke check by Utah, though, disrupts the play. Utah rushes the other direction. 2-on-2 break. Powell and Hill back on D. Right in front, shot blocked by Eager. JC the other direction, looking for a cross-ice pass to Hargadine. Hargadine plays it ahead to Howard. Howard over the blue line. Shot from Howard on target. Kicked off the side, though, by the Utah goalie. Utah regains possession. They'll play it up through the neutral zone, across the blue line into the Kansas City zone. Poke check by Powell disrupts that play. And chip back out. Utah resets at the neutral zone. Brown on the ice with Myers. Brown, Myers, and Logan Weisner are your forwards. Powell and Barron on D. Puck circles behind the net. Powell picks it up. Loses the handle momentarily. He'll circle around, try to send it back out. Looking for Myers, but just off his stick. Kept in by Utah at the blue line. Utah looking for a shot. They'll circle around, try to create some space. This puck banged back behind the net. No clear shot there. Myers chips it around for Powell. Back to the point for Utah. Shot from the right D coming right on target. Saved by Eager, and he hangs on to it. 10:33 remaining in this third period. Dungy, Allender, and Smith on the ice. Kansas City for their forward line. Flynn and Barron on D. Utah controls the face-off, trying to get a quick shot, poked out by Kansas City. A bit of a foot race here as Smith and Allender pursuing. Utah beats him to the puck, but Allender forced him to make a pass behind the net. Utah controls it, though. No clear the zone. Chipped ahead of the neutral zone, picked off by McLean, though. Good job by McLean to keep it alive. He dumps it back in. Again, McLean picks it off and dumps it back in. Utah trying an outlet pass to the left winger. They'll skate it around the red line, back to the right side, over the blue line, into the Kansas City zone. Shot goes wide right behind the Kansas City net. Picked up by Barron. Barron tries to backhand it out. Utah player loses an edge. They pick up the puck, though, and they'll regroup at center ice. Backhand play by Utah. Picked up by Smith. Smith across the blue line. He'll head back to the bench for a line change, though, as he dumps it in. Utah, long outlet pass to the left side. Enters the Kansas City zone. Chipped out, though, by JC. JC trying to get it ahead to Howard, but Utah kept it in. Shot goes off Landon Weisner. Into the corner. He'll pick it up and try to clear it out up the boards. Kept in by Utah. Picked up again, though, by Weisner. Weisner across center ice. Across the blue line. Drop pass for JC or Hargadine. JC trying to tap it back to Hargadine, but too many Utah sticks there. They disrupt the play. Utah comes the other direction. Jumps into the zone. Phillips picks up the puck, though. Sends it right back the blue line, but chipped back in by Utah. Phillips digs it out of the corner. Backhands it up. Looking for JC or Weisner. Comes over to Hargadine. Poke check by Utah, though. They regain possession in the near corner. Centering pass picked off by Howard. Howard backhands it out. Right D for Utah. Pitches down and keeps the play alive. Zone over the red line into the Kansas City zone. Good play by the Utah player to get through all that traffic. He plays it all the way down in the near left corner. Baca with the poke check. Eventually picks up the loose puck. Baca trying to play it out, but it's picked up by Utah right in the slot. Another good poke check by Baca. Clears it out. Loose puck trickles down near the net. Utah trying to get something going in the slot there, but it's eventually cleared back out. This puck picked up by Hill, streaking across center ice. It's tripped up, loses an edge. And Utah regains possession in their own zone. Utah plays it back up to the red line. Cross-ice pass, offsides though, as they play it back out of the zone after they were already in. Offsides call with 7.5 minutes remaining in this final period. Utah picks up the loose puck after the face-off. They dump it in, but Barron regains possession. He'll clear it back out into the neutral zone. Utah circles back around. Picked off, though, by Logan Weisner. Myers in support there with a good poke check. Separates the puck, regains possession. Trying to tap it ahead, looking for Allender. Just cleared out, though, by Utah. Barron and Weisner back on D. Good poke check there by Weisner. He sends it ahead looking for Allender. Just out of his reach, though. Utah regroups. Dump it back into Kansas City zone. Utah on the far boards. Tied up with Barron and Smith. Picked off. Pass all the way to the slot. Picked off by Myers. Myers rushes up the right side. Myers gets across the red line. He'll dump it in. Head back to the bench for a line change. Smith in pursuit on the far side. Smith overskates it momentarily, but he'll go back. Grabs the puck. Looking for Dungy. Loose puck picked up in the slot, though, by Utah. Comes all the way back to center ice. Weisner picks it up. Landon Weisner across the blue line. Weisner picks up the puck in the far corner. Sends it around looking for Howard. Howard chips it back to Dungy. Dungy trying to get a centering pass. Bounces around back to Howard. Poke checked away back to the point, but shot by Barron. Bouncer didn't get a good stick on it. Eventually cleared out by Utah. Barron will reset. Barron picks up the puck. Plays it over to JC on the near side. JC in the near corner. Plays it over to the far corner looking for Dungy. Dungy gets there. Poke checks it back. Loses an edge. It's back on his feet. Utah clears the zone. Almost clears the zone. Howard keeps it in. Great job by Howard to keep it in. Howard on the far boards. Trying to get a stick on it, but a Utah defender beat him to it and clears it all the way down to the other end of the ice. 5.5 minutes remaining. That brings the face-off back down to the Utah zone. Kansas City down to the final 5 minutes, trailing by 3 goals. Need a couple quick strikes here. Utah controls the face-off. They bring it back to the far corner. They'll play it out on the right side over the blue line into the neutral zone. They chip it around one defender. You get past McLean, one-on-one break with Powell back. Pull it back, backhand shot, saved by Eager. Right leg pad saved by Eager. Good job by Eager to keep that out of the net. Kansas City trying to break it out. Powell overskates it momentarily, regains possession. Long cross-ice pass for Howard. Howard and Brown over the line. Shot by Howard right on target, saved by the Utah goalie. Face-off controlled by Utah. They jumped through. It looked like Kansas City might have won it, but Utah jumped right through it. They skated into the zone. Shot coming from the face-off dot, kicked around by Landon Weisner, though. Off target. Comes back to the left D, who tries to keep it in. Brady Brown there as well, trying to kick it back out. Utah plays it back down low, looking to set something up in front. Shot under the leg pad of Eager. They blow it dead. Not sure if they'll call that a goal or not. They blow it dead, but the puck looks like it was in the net. See if they call that a goal or not. Not sure. Actually, there's going to be a penalty call on Utah. Might have been some action after the fact. That might be why the puck ended up in the back of the net. Appears that Kansas City will go on the power play. .440 remaining in the game. Score remains 4-1, and Kansas City goes up on the man advantage. Smith will take the face-off. Weisner and Allender on the wings. Barron and Landon Weisner on D. Utah controls the face-off, but it's picked off by Kansas City, and Smith dumps it back in. Smith sends it behind the net. Allender there in support. Utah chips it around, trying to get it out of the zone. Poke check by Utah sends the puck back out of the zone. Landon Weisner resets. Weisner across the blue line. Pulls it back to the face-off dot, trying to get a shot and forced into the near corner. He'll circle behind the net. He plays it back to his brother, Logan Weisner. Back to Barron. Quick shot by Barron. Karam's off into the corner. They'll play it back to Allender. Allender and Smith in the near corner. Trying to keep the play alive. Tied up in a scrum 2-on-2, and Utah comes away with it. They'll clear the zone. Outlet pass. Just over the red line. Weisner back. The other Weisner back checking. And we're going to get a trip here as Landon Weisner tripped up, streaking Utah forward. That'll draw a penalty. That'll even things up 4-on-4 hockey for a bit. 33 seconds remaining in the penalty to Utah. Landon Weisner goes off. 3:43 remaining in the game. Utah controls the face-off. They circle behind the net. Player goes down to his knees, gets right back up, plays it back to the right D. Shot coming from the right D, off target, goes into the near corner. Hill trying to play it back up the boards to Howard. Howard trying to get it to Hargadine, but it's tied up on the boards by Utah. Hargadine digs it out, trying to play it around a defender. He's across the red line. One-on-one break for Hargadine. Hargadine trying to get around one defender and get a shot. Tough angle, right on target though. Covered up by the Utah goalie with 3:10 remaining. We'll get a face-off just outside the Utah goal. Kansas City down a man. 5-on-4 for Utah. Good little rush there for Kansas City, even though they're down a man. Face-off controlled by Utah. They try to chip it out. Poked in momentarily by Hill, but eventually chipped out by Utah. Smith got checked down hard by a Utah player, so that'll be a penalty on Utah. That will negate the man advantage for Utah. We'll go back to even strength hockey here, 4-on-4 for the moment. That will send the face-off back down to the Utah zone. Smith and Logan Weisner are your forwards. Hill and Barron are your defensemen. 4-on-4 for the next 44 seconds. Face-off controlled by Utah. They'll clear the zone back up across the red line into the Kansas City zone. Barron back checking with Hill. Barron beats his man to the puck, circles it around looking for Logan Weisner. Taps to the head looking for Smith. It's kept in momentarily by Utah, but Barron picks up a loose puck, streaking across the neutral zone, across the blue line. Barron looking for a wrist shot. Poke checked away at the last second. Just about as he was ready to pull the trigger. Poke checked away. Empty net for Kansas City. 2.5 minutes remaining. Smith picks up the loose puck. Sends it back up to the neutral zone. Into the Utah blue line. Utah will break it back out. Dumps it across the red line. Poked up by Hill. Hill plays it back. Poke check. Backhand by Hargadine, trying to get it out of the zone. Up and over the blue line, though. Offsides call. Kansas City with an empty net. 6-on-4 for Kansas City at the moment. 2-man advantage with the empty net. Smith to take the face off. Howard and Hargadine on the wings. Barron and Landon Weisner are your defensemen. The sixth attacker coming on is Logan Powell. Not sure what's happening. Here we get a stoppage in play as the referee dropped it, then changed his mind. Timeout, Kansas City. If you do the YouTube version, it makes you whoever's cheating or going to be
it's just the quality sometimes is getting pushed. Have you noticed any issues?
Sometimes I get to a rank and I'll speed tested. Like a rank Wi-Fi, I use T-Mobile, I use some bands.
So you're still kind of those limitations?
Yeah, there's limitations, but this has an option. If you get a rank, I'm doing all the speed test before the game starts. I know it's like, you're not good, obviously. There's a button on that now. You know that helps out. We like YouTube just because all the
No way. Hit the airplay button. What the fuck is that airplay button? Don't touch it. Don't even go near it. Yeah, we've been on. We used to use Periscope a lot, but they don't.
Periscope?
We used to use a app called Periscope. It's got bought out by Twitter.
Okay.
And now they kind of phase them out.
I remember that one. Kansas City wins the face-off. Barron plays it up through the neutral zone, trying to chase ahead for Landon Weisner. Weisner keeps it in. Good poke check by Weisner to keep the play alive. He plays it across right in the slot for Hargadine. Shot right in front. Loose puck. Smith right there trying to bang in the rebound. Landon Weisner chips it back down low. Right onto the stick, though, of a Utah player. He clears it around, but picked up by JC. JC trying to look for a centering pass right in front, all the way through the slot. Comes all the way back and out of the zone. 90 seconds remaining. 8 seconds on the penalty. 6-on-4 for a few more seconds. Barron across the blue line. He'll circle back. Long pass over to Hargadine at the face-off dot. Hargadine looking for a shot. Just over the crossbar behind the net. Utah clears it back out. Empty net shot all the way down, just wide, left of the net. Icing call for Utah. Penalty is over. 6-on-5 hockey with the empty net instead of 6-on-4. Kansas City still with the extra attacker. Face-off control by Utah. They played up the boards, cleared up and out off the boards. That'll be another icing call. Burns a couple seconds off the clock, but brings the face-off back down to the Utah zone. Utah trying to get the empty net goal. A quick face-off win and dumping the puck. Last two shots off target. Argadine to take the face-off. Howard, Allender, and Smith, extra forwards. Barron and Weisner on the D-line. They play it back up, just out of the zone. Utah controls at center ice. They chip it across the left side of the blue line. They'll bang it ahead, trying to dump it in the net, but it's picked up by Barron. Barron chips it back up and out to the neutral zone. Argadine chasing after it. Barron chips it ahead into the Utah zone. 30 seconds remaining in the contest. Just over the line is Hargadine and Smith. 31 seconds on my clock. Let me adjust that. 35 on the arena clock. Offside for Kansas City as they jumped over the blue line without the puck. Allender, Hargadine, Smith, and Howard are your forwards. Utah wins the face-off. Fanned on it. Try to get a shot off. Fanned on it. Hargadine picks up the puck. He'll backhand it down low for Allender. Allender trying to get a centering pass. He decides to send it behind the net. Looking for Smith. All the way out to the blue line, just over the blue line, offsides call. As Barron was on the blue line, chipped it back in. Just out and back over the blue line for an offsides call with 19 seconds remaining. Utah controls the face-off. Long pass, or long shot, I should say, and they score. Empty net goal for Utah makes it 5-1. Doesn't? Oh, yeah. Face-off won by Utah. They'll play it back across the red line. Kansas City back to 5-on-5 with Eager in net. He turns that aside. Puck goes into the corner. 2 seconds remaining. And that'll do it. 5-1 your final. Utah prevails. Kansas City with a lot of chances. Just couldn't find the back of the net a few times. And Utah took the momentum halfway through the game and never looked back. Kansas City will have a game tomorrow. I'll check the schedule here in a minute. Kansas City will play tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning against Arizona. Back here at the same complex, Kansas City plays Arizona. Third place game tomorrow. Kansas City drops the bracket play game. They were in the top 4, but they dropped the game tonight in bracket play, which sends them tomorrow to the extra game, so they get one more game, but they will play for third place tomorrow. Here back at the same complex. 9:30 Mountain Time, 10:30 back home Central Time. We will see you tomorrow. Kansas City loses 5-1 to Utah.